Hey kids, Mr. Glenn here. Welcome to the next part in our Turtles level, which is lesson 2. I'm going to go back into my game, and you'll notice that my agent has reached here. Yours has probably done exactly the same. The lights come on, and the fence has disappeared. Now, it looks like you don't really know what to do, but it does this in nearly every single stage. You have to walk into the arena here where you're going to go into the next step. So you can see just past my agent, my steps are going to go over to that fence in the distance where my crosshair is. And so now my agent's moved automatically, and Dr. Barwin has given me some more text. When that disappears, the text from the radio static, I can hit T and I can reread it. Okay. So let's go into here, let's go and check what we've got. And it looks like we've got a pattern going on because we're going to have to go over there to where the turtles are. We can see the turtles. Okay. Inside this one, you can see that our agent is going to have to detect some wood later on. So this looks like it may have a pattern. So I need to go forward 3, turn left, forward 1, 2, 3, turn right, forward 1, 2, 3, 4, turn left, forward 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, turn right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then left 1, 2, and it's the same as before. Okay, so you just need to go and put your code in. Make sure you can see what's going on this way. So I'm going to go and hit C to code, and this time it's giving you some hints at the top as well. Okay, so I can bring my chat command in, turn this into number 1 again, so it's going to be easy to type, and then I can start to put my code in just like I did before. Okay. This I can realize has a bit of a pattern to it, so I can start putting the pattern in and then changing the numbers inside the values here. Okay, so this one's pretty straightforward. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, forward, turn left, 1, 2, 3, turn right, 1, 2, 3, 4, turn 1, 2, 3, turn 1, 2, 3, 4, turn 1, 2. So that's my pseudocode. Okay, so pseudocode, what does this mean? Well, pseudocode is a kind of way of working out the solution to a problem just by using logic and drawing it out. Okay, you can use regular language. Okay, you can use a little bit of code and language at the same time, or you can use mostly code and some straightforward language. So on an iPad, you can actually draw it on here. So you can use your mouse as well at the same time. And then you can say that, you need to draw the steps, and then you can go with whether you need to go right, you need to go left, you need to go right, and you're able to go and demonstrate forward 3, forward 4, and the like. Okay, you're going to need this inside your Teams assignment in order to hand this in. Okay, so inside your Teams assignment, you'll see this as an attachment within your assignments. This is going to help you organize your thoughts and also just prove your way of thinking when you come to much harder and much more complicated pieces of code. Okay, so at this point, it's probably a good idea just to have a look at our assignment. So I'm just going to bring this up for us and just slide this in so we can see it and put it into student view. So there we are. I'm going to go into the student view at the bottom. So let's just take a look at this, because we're going to use our vocabulary, especially in the next couple of tasks within Minecraft. So at the moment, this is sort of level 1. This is lesson 1, movement and making the agent move. And we're going to be using this language here. And you can see that I've given you a whiteboard at the bottom. I probably will have spoken about this in class as well. But this is for you to go and draw your ideas before you have a go and just show whoever's next to you or whoever you're working with what it is that you're making. Okay, so we're going to use the algorithm, which is a sequence of defined steps. So if you're making a cup of tea, for example, you know the process of filling the kettle, boiling the water, getting a tea bag ready in a cup with some milk, a spoon, a little bit of sugar if you want it, pour the hot water in. That's That's an algorithm to make a cup of tea every single time you use that sequence all the time. Pseudocode, though, is how I just described it to you. If you're a robot, you would have a completely different understanding and a different way of doing things. And then you sequence them all together, all those pieces of the program, those steps, and then it becomes one whole algorithm that can be used and tweaked and used over and over again. Okay. If you're going to use it over and over again, there may be things in there that have to be repeated. It may be 3 times, 4 times, 10 times, and they are called loops. Okay, so those are the things that you're going to have to use over and over again, and you're going to need to do that, especially in the polar bears, which comes up next. You can see that things will get a little bit harder and harder. So not sort of harder, but more complex, and you'll have to use different strategies in order to be successful. So let's go back into our game. Okay, so I'm going to leave this right here because as a gentle introduction, this is relatively straightforward. I'll put my code back up here, and you can see that I've started to put this pattern in already for my algorithm inside this what's called a container. These things here that look like big mouths are called containers. Before I leave, you can see that we've got loops here, and so they're going to be really handy because you don't want giant strings of code, of blocks. You don't want these whole strings of blocks all together. We want to make it as nice and neat and tight as possible. So I'll leave you here. We're going to use that language in the next block for sure. All right, as always, good luck.